who thought the Lakers would be among the play-in group and not the shoe-in group for the playoffs. No LeBron, Anthony Davis there, though. Los Angeles finds itself in Portland. Loser falls to 7th in the West. Winner claims any future tiebreaker. First quarter, Damian Lillard. Oh, Big Sky. Blazers up 12. Lillard had 10 in the first. Lillard changing gears. Didn't you do a car commercial with Lillard, Stan?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he changed gears like he was an automobile right there by Gasol. 19 in the first half. Davis gets around Robert Covington. He had 14 in the first half. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The Pope working Fridays. Down just 4 at the break after trailing by 14. Third quarter, Davis, ball in the paint. If that was down here, it'd be a West LA fadeaway. It's a fadeaway for Davis, who had 36 points and 12 rebounds. Davis, top of the key, man. Big man can do that. That's sweet with Covington in his face. Let's get back to Lillard, though. Damn, he's good. Blazers down 1. Under 2 to play in the third, still 1. Lillard gets Davis on him and just blows by him. There it is, shifting gears again. Blazers led by 4 as we head into the 4th. Still up 4 with 6 to play. And Lillard channeling his inner Billy Ray Bates. Rip City, baby. Blazers up 7. Davis, the two-man game with Caldwell-Pope. Big fella can do that again. Covington comes out on him. Davis does not care. Lillard had 38 and took just 18 shots. That's efficient. Blazers back up by 7. Still in the 4th. Lakers down 3 with 43 seconds to play. Kyle Kuzma, awful night shooting. 2 of 11, 0 for 6 from 3. Leaves that short. Lillard, loose ball, and he's fouled. The Blazers, 20 of 21 from the free throw line. Win it, 106.
This one by as many as 14 points, but going to the locker room up just 4. Let's start with AD. He finished with 14 points in the first half for the Lakers.
He got up to a slow start, and the Lakers actually played better when he was on the bench. But when he was in the game, if you notice, really productive right underneath the rim. And if you think back to the bubble last year, a leap in Anthony Davis's game was his improved jump shooting, catch and shoot, three-point shoot, pull-up shots. Today, he's 1 for 4 on jump shooting. And you notice he's hitting the floor a lot. That means that his legs isn't under him just yet. Hopefully he can do a little bit better in the second half.
Thank goodness Portland has a second half to play basketball, because I'm embarrassed for their defense. I mean, what are we playing for tonight? A 6 seed? You playing for a 6 seed, and you allow, I know they give up 115 points per game, and that's not their defense. The 2 things you know about the Portland Trailblazers, Dame is going to go off sooner or later, and you know their defense is atrocious. It's time for Terry Stotts. Let's pick up the atrocity in the defense and make it a little bit better and win this game that you need.
Clinging on to that 6 seed, you're shaking your head like absolutely not. How important is the Lakers and their chances now to stay out of the play-in tournament? You think they have a chance?
You know, I think if you're the Lakers, do you want to be in the play-in tournament? No. But if you have to be in the play-in tournament, fine, so be it. I just need AD and LeBron James healthy. I'll even take LeBron James at 80%. I'll take AD at 80%. I still think this team is talented enough when LeBron James is on the court. Obviously, question marks about AD's ankle, his back spasms. We'll see it tonight. I think they will be in the playoff game. I've been saying this for the past month and a half. It goes to the real question we will end up asking ourselves is after they're in the playing game, if they get that 7th or 8th seed, it's time to see, are the Utah Jazz or the Phoenix Suns, are they for real? Because we've been talking about them all season long, about they are the truth, believe in the hype. It's time for this basketball team, these teams. CP3 is in the MVP conversation. You talk about the Utah Jazz, one of the deepest teams there is in the league. If you have to go against the Lakers in round 1, you're going to get a chance on a national level to prove that you are the team that we've been saying you've been the whole regular season.
That's right. They've shown this entire season those 2 teams top in the West are for real, but the Lakers, if they have anything to say about it, they'll try to do their best. We know LeBron, of course, doesn't want to play in that play-in tournament. NBA Countdown.
A genius with math, and he's going to break it all down for you leading into this Lakers and Portland matchup.
Yeah, thanks, Maria. Simply put, this is the biggest game of the year for both the Lakers and the Blazers, but they arrive at this game in different ways. The Lakers have lost 4 of their last 5. The Blazers have won 5 of their last 6. The result of those 2 streaks is that these 2 teams are now deadlocked in 6th, fighting for the last guaranteed playoff spot out west. But here's the big deal for the Lakers. they have a very tough remaining schedule. Not only do they have this game at Damian Lillard's Portland Blazers tonight, they have a huge game Sunday against Chris Paul and the Suns, and then Tuesday at home in Staples against the red-hot Knicks. If LeBron James is not able to play, there's a world where the Lakers go 0-3 here. But if there's one piece of good news for the Lakers, it's that the Blazers also have a very tough remaining schedule. Look at this. Lakers, Spurs, Jazz, Suns, all remaining here. But here's the main point. The Blazers are hotter and healthier than the Lakers are right now. And so if they just hold serve tonight, here's the scenario that I see playing out. The Lakers drop and the Trailblazers steal that last guaranteed spot. And yes, that's right. The Lakers begin their title defense in the play-in tournament, potentially against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
All right, appreciate that, Kirk. And if that is the case, the Lakers would be the 7 or 8 seed in the Western Conference, meaning a first-round series against either the Jazz or the Suns. Of course, that's if they made it past the Warriors. And according to ESPN's BPI, Utah would have a 62% chance to beat the Lakers in a playoff series, while Phoenix would have a 38% chance. Okay, so Jay Rose, we just got it all broken down. Woj told you that LeBron James might not be able to come back really anytime soon. He's working towards being able to be back on the court. We know where they could end up. Kirk believes in the Portland Trailblazers because they're moving really hot right now. Do you have concerns for the Lakers?
I have major concerns. Shout to 24-karat Goldsberry. He is a genius. Here's the thing. I'm going to just say this. If the Lakers are involved in the play-in tournament, they will not win the championship this year. Wow. That's how strong I feel about it. We have never seen a team 7 seed or below win a championship in the history of the league. And I know that this is a unique season with COVID and people being in and out of lineup in 72 games and having it abbreviated. That's the main reason. But another reason is when you come from the 7th spot, man, that journey is so very tough. And look at how Anthony Davis just got injured the other day. That's a prime example of why that hill is so very steep decline. So for me, it's imperative that they're not part of the play-in tournament. It's
hard for me to bet against LeBron James, because I'll take LeBron James at 80%. I still think he's better than 90% of the league at 80%. He's still that talented. The interesting thing for me is they're going to be in the play-in tournament. I've been saying this for the longest time. That's going to happen. Truncated season, injuries, Dennis Schroeder. It's going to be tough. But you know what? All right, we're reevaluating Donovan Mitchell's injury. His ankle, right? Okay, Utah, you've been the best team in the league the whole year. The whole year, that's all everybody's been talking about. They deserve it. They're the best team. You have to go against the Lakers in round 1. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it against that team with 7 seed or lower to actually have a chance to win it. But that 7 seed team didn't have LeBron James or AD.
It could be a very early test for either the Jazz or the Suns or whoever comes out number 1 in the West. And that's not what you want to see, but essentially it could be something. Yeah, you have no choice. But injuries have played a huge role in the Western standings in general.
Injuries and COVID.
Yeah.
And for the Lakers right now, not just LeBron James out with the ankle, but Dennis Schroeder out into health and safety protocol at least another 7 days. And so they certainly are going to miss him tonight against Portland. Listen, he's their playmaker. He's a great defender in the backcourt, and against Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum, you know, they're playing with Alex Caruso in the backcourt now. That's going to be difficult for the Lakers. And then that New Orleans team who was trying to fight their way back into the play-in, you know, Zion Williamson with that fractured finger on his shooting hand, his ring finger. I think the expectation is he's probably played his last regular season game. If they somehow got in the play-in and could advance, perhaps. But this isn't an injury that you just are back out on the court with. And I think for New Orleans, ultimately, this was a team that was really a disappointment this season.
Now, can I ask you a question? If you're a Lakers fan and you see Father Time taking its effect on LeBron James, are you confident moving forward that AD can carry your franchise?
He hasn't shown that he can stay healthy for the entire regular season. This is a perfect example why. When LeBron James at this point of his career is going to miss games potentially, you hope AD can be healthy, but he's also out, and that's why they're in this situation.
I think this is a tough year to make those kind of judgments about players on. The Lakers, we could have scripted them having injury problems coming out of the bubble, the shortest offseason of anybody, then a tight regular season with a lot of games condensed into a few days. We've seen injuries all over the league, and I think for LeBron James, for Anthony Davis, I think it was telegraphed that this was something the Lakers are going to have to deal with, and here it is.
Yeah, they had a short off season. Right now, the Lakers are 2-4 with just AD on the court, no LeBron James, but they've lost 7 of their last 9. And again, they're scratching and clawing to keep themselves out of the play-in tournament. That's going to be game 2 of our doubleheader as they take on Portland, trying to maintain that 6 seed, that tiebreaker. Jason Tatum, actually, the Celtics sitting at 6 right now, too, getting ready to take on the Bulls. Again, last time we saw him on a Friday, he dropped 60. You saw the picture.
Well, if he was Kobe, he would have scored 81.
Wow.
What you gonna say now?
He's our late game tonight. We got Trailblazers, we got Lakers. We know what's on the line there. What's the latest?
Yeah, look, listen, LeBron James and the Lakers are becoming resigned to the fact that he's going to have to play with discomfort for the rest of the season. They don't have time to get this ankle back to 100%. He probably came back too soon last week. He saw his team taking on losses. He wanted to come back and help, and he was unable, I was told, to really be able to explode off that ankle, to make hard cuts. He's stepped away again now, missed the back-to-back games. They've got Phoenix Sunday, the Knicks Tuesday. Unclear whether he's going to come back there. But for LeBron James and the Lakers, listen, they're trying to get him as much rest as they can. But that high ankle sprain is going to continue to be an issue in the playoffs. He's probably not going to be 100%. I think there's even more of a burden now on Anthony Davis to carry a bigger load with LA.
Yeah, and we saw him going out with back spasms, was only able to play 9 minutes, but the Lakers are 9-14 without LeBron James on the court. Again, you will see the Lakers tonight at 10 Eastern against the Portland Trailblazers. Should be a good one. There'll be fans in the building. And the good news is, Jay Williams, hey, look, you're back just in time. We're calling it the play-in party because we're trying to figure out who's going to end up in the play-in tournament. And since we got Celtics and Bulls coming your way, let's take a look at the Eastern standings because, again, with just 1 week left, that means just about 6 games left for every single team. It's still packed in the East. Teams 4 through 7 are separated by just 2 games, and right now the Celtics are 6th, but they have the same record as the Heat, and both of those teams are looking to avoid the play-in tournament. Obviously, you're trying to stay above 7. 7 through 10 are going to be in the play-in tournament. That's not where you want to be. The ESPN BPI gives the Celtics a 28% chance of making that play-in tournament. Jay Will, since you're back for the first time like you never left, let's start with you. Yeah, absolutely.